Hello, hello. Welcome to January 11th. Today we are canning up some split pea soup. I don't know about you, but to us there's nothing better than a nice warm bowl of soup with some fresh sourdough bread or cornbread or biscuits or whatever. But anyway, I'm going to show you the lineup and then we're going to get started with this. It's going to be real easy. We're not cooking the soup. We're going to do a cold pack method in our jars and can it that way. My reasoning behind that is I want to maintain the texture of the split peas a little bit and not have them like disappear into a mush before they're even canned. We have split peas that I've had soaking overnight, some celery, onions, the rest of the baby carrots have been chopping up. We have some bacon and some ham, salt, pepper, ground thyme, a little bit of oregano. My last jar of ham stock, I have some more going in the Instant Pot from the hams we cut up from our pigs today. And I have one jar of chicken broth as well. We'll see, I'll make this work. And then here's our sourdough bowls that I baked today. Don't those look great? They taste even better. So I'm gonna get my station set up, the usual, and I'm gonna do these in pint jars because not everybody loves this soup, so I figure it's best to just keep it as individual or two-person servings. Here I am just putting those beautiful soaked split peas into my jars, filling up the jars about a third to halfway, probably closer to halfway because I knew that these weren't going to expand a lot. Like when you do regular beans, they tend to expand a bit more even if you soak them. So for this, I wanted to make sure we had plenty of split peas because it is split pea soup, but we also wanted to leave room for all the goodies that are coming up in here. They look so pretty already, don't they? So it turns out I did not soak enough split peas for my jars, so I have some fresh. I just want to show you the difference between a soaked split pea and a dry split pea. So here's my soaked one, here's my dry one. So if you were to do this with your peas unsoaked, which is totally fine, use half the amount. So here I wouldn't do like any more than maybe a quarter to a third of a cup in these jars. Like I'm just adding a little bit to that one. Because you will get a lot of expansion and that will also change how much liquid it soaks. I like to soak, or takes, I should say. I like to soak them overnight because they're just about maximum hydration when you do that. When you have them unsoaked like this or when you're doing unsoaked beans, just know that you're going to have less liquid at the end of things because these will slurp them up, I should say. Now it's time to add the veggies to this. First I am adding celery, not too much, just, I don't know, maybe like a tablespoon or so to each jar. Like the taste of it, but don't want too much because I've found that sometimes canned celery can taste a little bit off. So I'm just keeping it very minimal. We can always add more later, but we cannot take away. That's the biggest thing that I have to say about canning is you can always add more, but you can't take it away. That's salt, herbs, spices, whatever. And now I'm adding onion, pretty decent amount. I'd say like 3 tablespoons or so. And that just, well, onions make everything taste better. Now, I would normally put some garlic in, but I really am not super thrilled with how garlic turns out in cans sometimes. So what I decided to do is I'll add that when we're warming it up, probably just some powdered garlic. I tell you what, the smells going on here already are just amazing. And then of course you can't have split pea soup without carrots. So I'm putting a generous amount of those in, about as much carrot as there was onion. And you can see my jar is filling up just beautifully. It's all layered. And I'm doing my voiceover right now, and Mr. Magnus just will not stop talking. So you're going to hear a cute little toddler voice in the background. It's a lot of fun. But his siblings are at Awana right now, so we're just kind of waiting for them to get done in there. And just getting this done. And yeah, so we're just getting the carrots in. I was just kind of finishing off the tub because I had a few left over. I want to make sure everybody gets plenty of joy. And then this is my cooked bacon, and there's about a tablespoon per jar. I just love that smoky, salty flavor of the bacon on top of the ham that we're about to put in here. And then with the ham, I was pretty generous. And then let's see, what am I adding here? Just a little bit of salt, only half a teaspoon. Not much at all because you've got salty bacon and salty ham. And then about a quarter of a teaspoon of pepper goes into these. And then I'll be adding about 1/8 of a teaspoon of powdered thyme to each jar. and that just gives it a nice classic split pea soup kind of flavor. And then just a pinch of my homegrown oregano into each jar. It smells so good. Oh my gosh, really fresh smelling. And then I'm just filling them up with my beautiful ham chunks. This ham came from my friends the Ely's. They gifted us with a pig a couple of years ago when my husband had really bad strokes, and it was such a blessing for our family, and we've been really using that up. And then now I am popping open my jars of stock. This was ham stock. I have 1 jar of ham, 1 jar of chicken, so I ended up doing some of both. I mixed them after a couple minutes and then just debubbling. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Here is the end result of that canning sesh. 12 beautiful cans, or jars I should say, of split pea soup. See, this is why I didn't want to cook them beforehand. They already fall apart plenty in the canning process, but the chunks are going to be a bit more chunky. You can see the tops are messy. Fun story here. I had a jar of ham in here with this, and the band had been acting weird on another jar, and I was like, whatever, I'll try it on this jar. Well, at some point in the canning process, the band and lid blew off of that jar, so like the ham kind of exploded. The jar's fine, and the ham that's left in there is good, but the top of the jar just kind of, it was funny. So that's why these are so messy. They siphoned a tiny bit, but not bad at all. I'm very happy with this, and we're looking forward to eating it. So there you go. Day 11 in the books. Split pea soup for the larder.